Hey everyone, today we're going to cover a template that I've created to help you come up with your xAPI strategy, what verbs you want to use, what they mean, and kind of come up with different recipes and profiles that you actually want to use. And we'll talk about where to get that template and how to use it today. Alright, welcome back. My name is Jeff Batt with Learning Dojo, and if you haven't checked out my website already, go ahead and check out my website at learningdojo.ninja. Here you can check out all previous blog posts with everything about xAPI, Storyline, Captivate, augmented reality, other things like that. You can also download templates, and this is where you'll be able to download the template we're using today. It's not there as of this recording, but it will be before this recording is posted. But you can download that template here, and this will probably be under the xAPI section here. And then also we have full courses on Articulate Storyline 360, Adobe Captivate, xAPI Fundamentals, where you can learn everything from A to Z about xAPI. Also have a course on Articulate Rise, Custom SCORM, and HTML5 video. If you're familiar at all with xAPI, xAPI revolves around statements, being able to track what the user has done, when they've done it, and send over these action statements like Jeff Batt downloaded a PDF. Now the downloaded may mean something to somebody, or in some situation that means something different in other situations. Now, xAPI profiles, at least from my understanding, allow you to kind of create these different scenarios and create these different what happens in certain when somebody watches a video. These are the different verbs that are actually tracked, and these are the different verbs that are used. And those are great, and in fact you can find out more on this ADL xAPI profile server. They used to have like a list of verbs here as well. I'm not sure what happened to it. In fact, that was very useful to see what type of verbs are available, but now they're kind of targeting more xAPI profiles. And you can see if you go into the different profiles and you scroll down here, you can see profiles for PDF annotator or video profile like I was talking about before. And I'm assuming these actually will be built out as they continue here. So again, it would be easier if I could just find some verbs so I can create some myself, but I know they're trying to push it all to these different profiles. But what if I want to track something, if I'm inside a Storyline, or if I'm inside a Captivate or Domino or something like that, and I wanted to track something using a verb, but I wanted to define what that verb means to me, or define what profiles that I'm actually using. So I'm going to cover this template that I've created, and I'm calling this the xAPI strategy document. And you can download this and you'll see it as a completely blank template. So here you can go in and you can specify the why do we use xAPI in our organization. Start with that why. What are we trying to track? Why aren't we just using SCORM? Just basically put that there because this is to help communicate your vision to upper management. It's to help communicate the why to future developers as well. So that's why I put this here. Now, detail out each of the sections of the statements and how it's captured. So the actor, how do we capture it? Do we capture it through a single sign-on? Do we capture it through them entering in their own email? And so you can define this here so a developer who's picking this up later can actually go in and follow this same process. The verb registry, what verb registry do we use? Other things like that. The object ID, and how do we define our object ID? So I have this example just kind of detailing out why we're using organization. This is also how we capture through the single sign-on the person's information, and how we format the actor inside of the statement. This is also where we come in, and this is the registry of choice, which I used to have it point to this one, but this is where they've kind of changed it. You could actually go in, and I'm going to pull up the website here. You can still get a registry at tincanapi.com as well if you wanted to see a list of the different verbs. On my xAPI builder.learningdojo.ninja, I did go through and before all of that happened, I went through and listed all the different verbs. So if I come in here and click on this, I can search for these different types of verbs. So if you want to use that, if you're not going to build this statement here, if you just want to use the statement generator here to actually just look for verbs, go ahead and do that as well. When you click on it, it does show you the ID that you need for that verb and what the display for that verb is as well. Again, I think they're just trying to point you to these profiles, so you probably want to get to those, because right now, if I come into the video profile and I click on download, it's going to download this JSON file, which is not a very good way to display it for your common users. But if you come in here, you can see paused. This is the verb that we use for paused. This is the verb that we use for played. This is the verb that we use for seeked, and so forth. So the IDs are there. And again, I'm still trying to interpret all of their changes here myself, but the IDs are there, and you can go ahead and check that out. And the verbs are still there. Or if you're using a verb inside of Storyline, then it will automatically add that for you as well. But this is just to help you kind of think through it still. Verbs that we use for every single project. Do we track when somebody starts it? Do we track when somebody completes it? Do we common verbs, which are optional? So as I start to go here, you can see that we're tracking started, we're tracking completed, and we're tracking viewed as experienced or when they go to a page. Storyline automatically tracks this as experienced, so I may want to change this to experienced instead. And then common verbs, these are verbs, and then the description is to define it of what that verb means to our organization and in what situations do we actually use it. So if I come down here, this is where I'm calling them the recipes, but they're very similar to profiles, where you can come in and say, okay, for video, we're always going to use played, we're going to use paused, we're going to use progressed, and we're going to use watched. I don't really care about seeked. I don't really care about volume change. Those are some of the different verbs for the profiles. If you really want to know if they change the volume, great, you can go ahead and add that. But this is what I care about. This is a document to define what I care about. I can just basically come in here and copy this and come down and paste that there. And then I can go in and just hit tab right here to add another line. So you can start to build this out and what these different profiles and recipes mean to you. So this is a document that I created to help you with this, to help you kind of strategize and come up with this. So now any developer that's creating content for xAPI tracking can follow this and make sure they get all the right verbs when they're implementing this. I implemented it with my team and to create some type of standardization of how we track over xAPI. And then I can actually, when I'm creating reports inside of the Learning Record Store like Watershed or Learning Locker or something, I have the IDs here that I can go in and the different object IDs that I can go in and I could create the report because those IDs are important to create this report as well. So hopefully this is a useful template for you. I just wanted to walk you through it. You can download it on my website. If you wanted to stick with just the profiles, and you can download it here. You can see the different templates, initialize, played video, required concepts and stuff. So you can explore this as well. Again, I'm still trying to make sense of it, and hopefully I can share that with you once I've made sense of it as well. So that's how you get started with the strategy document. If you want to see any other types of documents or any other types of templates, comment down below. What else do you want to see? What else isn't making sense? If you wanted to check out my full course, you can go to learningdojo.ninja, check out the full course on xAPI fundamentals, as well as Articulate Storyline 360 and other tools as well. And if you like this video, make sure that you go to my YouTube channel and you hit like and subscribe so you're alerted of all new videos that actually come out as well. But that's all that I have for you today. So hopefully you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, everyone.